Just off the top of your head?
I'm gonna give you game, bro. I'm gonna give you game, and I'll give it to you on camera. If you decide to publish it, you can. But I met Drake back in 2012 or something like that, or whatever it may be, and I brought him in the back, and then we had a shelf. You open the shelf, and there's a door, and then through that door is a big-ass grow. And I'll never forget, he was like, damn.
Looks like it's finally here. So, full Berner interview. This is the first interview I've ever done with him. Something, you know, I'm very hyped to be able to do.
I'm giving you pure game. Usually I would probably charge $1 million. I'd probably charge $1 million for this kind of game.
But it was really dope to talk to him. But yeah, guys, enjoy this video. If you guys are, by the way, if you guys wanted early access to this interview, you could have gotten early access about a month or 2 months ago almost, I think. If you guys go over to my High Design streaming platform, if you guys go to www.highdesign.media, there'll be a link also down below in the pinned comment. If you guys go over there, you can sign up for free, but there's also a paid version. It helps out my team. It allows me to keep, you know, doing what we're doing and improving. Definitely go over there, guys. Like I said, www.highdesign.media. And yeah, but I appreciate Berner a lot for sitting down with me, and it means a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Anyways, this is the LMC X Berner interview. Enjoy.
I was just obsessed. Like, you have to understand, like, when I first started smoking weed, I started smoking weed in Arizona when I moved over there temporarily. I'd come back and visit my pops in SF. I'd see all the dispensaries with the green crosses. I'd see people coming out with bags full of goodies. I distinctly remember someone coming out with the bag with the plant sticking out of it. I was like, damn, you could buy plants in there? And we found a plug on Haight Street back in the days that would go into the cannabis clubs and buy us banana breads, brownies, weed, hash, stuff like that. And so I was just so obsessed with it. And so it was the day I turned 18, I went and got my medical license, and my boy that was working with me at Telly's coffee shop, I don't remember his first name right now, but his last name was O'Brien. So I was working at the coffee shop, selling weed at the coffee shop, and he was like, bro, like, I remember seeing him like, yo, what up? What you guys got on the menu today? Oh, blueberry this, blueberry that. And I was, oh, cool. You guys got mango? All right, cool. I'm going to be there after work. I'm like, damn, you could just call in and get it straight like that? He's like, yeah, for sure. These people over at the Hempcenter are the best. So the day I turned 18, I got my medical card, and I went and bought a camera. I just wanted to film it. I was like, I want to make a documentary about this, because how is it so opposite in Arizona where, like, you know, we'd got citizens arrested for weed before. Now, thank God we wiggled ourselves out that little chokehold the dude tried to put us in. But it was so opposite than what's going on in California. And I just, for some reason, like, God told me to go buy a camera and start filming everything. And so I would go in the hemp center with my little Telly's outfit on, and I would go interview patients. I would go film everything. I would film them setting up, breaking down. And it got to the point where the owner was like, yo, you want to work here. Like, you're here all the time, and the people love you. I see the way you conversate with people. Like, you should probably come just work for us and take that little silly coffee outfit off. I'm like, cool. I still have the footage. It's still on those little cassette tapes just in my safe. And so, and have all my old iPhones, all my footage. And I have some incredible, because I still haven't put out a documentary on there. I think I have enough to, like, do a short doc on there, but I was interviewing AIDS patients, ex-cops, this 90-year-old or 85-year-old lady that said she ate hash in Morocco and danced till she had an orgasm. Like, incredible shit, right? And I just I felt like it was a special place with special vibes. But even before that, bro, like, when I was, so I already had a camera. I had, like, a little handheld one that you flip. I was doing a documentary on homeless people in SF. And I was going up to a kid I used to see on Haight Street. I'd buy weed and sell weed at, and I seen him. He was hella young, and I just started following him around and talking to him, asking him how he ended up here, and I just wanted to know his story. And so I've always been into this shit. It's just been a passion of mine. So before I even started that, I was working on that. And even before that, I submitted my own take to the real world back in the days. I wanted to be on the real world. So I've been on that shit, bro. I've been fucking with that shit.
It's wild, bro. It's an instinct that was, I mean, it's, as time goes on, every single year that goes by, media is just more and more important. And
it's important to document your journey too, because then, like, it's just that much more, it's that much more real to people when they see everything you've been through. Like, you know, people seeing fucking 18-year-old me in the store, working at the store, like, just so they could respect it. This guy has obviously been doing this for a long time. He loves it. Because anyone that's still in the weed game for this long, you have to love it, because it's a turbulent space.
Yeah, absolutely. Passion's gonna keep you going. You should definitely put out that documentary though. That'd be crazy, bro. I think it also would remind a lot of people too of, like, where you started, you know.
For sure, yeah. No, I mean, I learned the game in that place.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yeah, the medical days.
Yeah.
And then they scrapped everything.
Crushed everyone that had medical licenses.
100%, dude. It's the saddest thing in the world, bro. Like I used to, yeah. And that's kind of great segue though into, you know, I know you were spending a lot of time up in Seattle, right? Because Washington, Colorado were the first to legalize in 2013. So I was like in high school, I was a sophomore in 2013. So from 2013 to my senior year in high school was that crazy period, bro, where like free for all, bro, like wild.
Crazy.
So I got to see the very end of that medical. But what's your experience? You know, there's kind of a weird tie between, you know, Seattle and the Bay. There's definitely some similarities.
I mean, Seattle's a cool ass spot. I've always liked Seattle because it kind of reminds me of San Francisco, and it's a foodie city, so there's good food. It's like the music is very like, the music scene there is like Bay Area. It's like a Bay Area kind of vibe. Like a lot of Bay Area rappers that go up there and do shows. Like it was a very good bond between the Bay and Seattle, so I just liked it. And there's real ones out there. If you know, you know. Seattle's a real ass city. Like there's some real ones out there, so I connected with good people. And the weed, it's always been a fucking great place for weed. Like even before medical or rec, like there's always been good cultivators in Seattle. Like one of my first guys I used to do work with back in the days when I still played around, like he used to cop weight from Seattle before he even came to California to cop weight. And so Seattle's always been a heady ass spot. It's
hella
been
heady, bro. Like the glass up there is crazy. Like
you got the glass, you got the herb, you got the food, you got the culture, you got the music scene. So and I was a big fan of Nirvana. I know they were from there, and so I was always fuck with Seattle.
Yeah.
Back in the days going up there, like it was just interesting seeing what was going on, how they had these farms out there in the cuts that run off the cheapest power in the whole world.
Yeah, Okanagan County.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just like seeing like the way that like, I remember, I'll never forget, shout out to my brother Ryan Kunkle, but like being there at Have a Heart Belltown, just seeing the traffic of like foot traffic and people being in that store buying illegal weed. I was like, Ivan, we gotta do something up here. Like, this is next level. Like, we gotta be a part of this. I like to be a part of history, and I like to be a part of like things that just feel good and just that's happening right then and there. So we did a deal out there and we just did our thing, and I'm glad we did it because we were able to participate in some of that market and just feel that shit out.
Yeah, 100%.
It was also genius for my brother Ryan too, because he couldn't put signage up back in the days.
Yeah.
So you put a Cookies clothing
Ryan's
store.
a genius, bro.
Yeah,
Like, so in terms of like, what kind of deal was it you guys did up there?
We did a deal for the Exotiks brand. I think the first day we did the Exotiks deal was Las Vegas and Arizona, and then we did a deal in Washington. And that was kind of like the last.
So you did like one with Matthew.
It was a deal with I forgot the group name out there in Seattle and the Washington area, but in Vegas I did it with Matt Morgan. Man, look, Matt's a smart dude. Like, you know, he's one of those dudes that like when you meet people and all they're doing is working and focusing on what they're doing, you know they're gonna hit. And so every time I see Matt, he was always working. Every time I see him to this day, he's still working. He's always working on something.
Yo, what's up, G?
Yo, did you go to the plug? You pick up?
Yeah, I did.
Can we see it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is getting pretty out of hand, bro. This is pretty...
Dude, there's roaches in there.
I know, dude. I know.
What are we gonna do?
Bro, I don't know.
Whoa. Have you heard of LMC?
What are you talking about?
Dr. Smoke.
Shout out to our homies over at Dr. Smoke. If you guys go to Doc... Okay, what is it? Let's go, yeah. What are we looking at? You're crazy, look at that.
I'm gonna order some right now. Putting in our address.
Alright, let's do it. And then make sure, let's use LMC 15 right now.
Wait, what was that again?
LMC 15.
LMC 15.
We're gonna get 15% off, it looks like.
Oh, that makes it even better deals.
Let's go. And really, what Randy had, Randy had that boof pack, that butt, and it was only, that's all he had.
We're never gonna talk to Randy again.
Randy, bro.
Block Randy right now.
And shout out to Dr. Smoke. So I guess with the Exotiks deal, I just want to talk about that a little bit because it was you and Ivan, right? I mean, it's still around. I mean, I go into like different shops in Seattle and I see the Exotiks brand.
I mean, you know, look, that whole thing was like, it was cool because, you know, you have to remember, like, there's been different stories of this. Like, people say that when Ivan and did that, I was only selling clothes. That's not true. I've been selling weed my whole life. Mm-hmm. I mean, not my whole life, but since I've been like 13, 14. Yeah. And I was doing it in the medical market with Connected, with the licensing deal with Connected. You done this whole story, so
Yep.
you know that like back in the days I was working with Connected and it was cookies from them, and I just felt like, and I want to do something I can control. And I remember one day Ivan commented on one of my posts, and Connected called me and they're like, yo, like, we respect that dude, we fuck with that dude, but you should probably not like entertain some business with him because that would be like considered competition to what we're doing together. And when people tell me not to fuck with people, I immediately want to fuck with them. I'm like, oh, word? Okay. Yes. So I hit him up on the DM, and I hit him up. I said, yo, like, let me come film a Marijuana Mania episode with you. And that's when I went to go do the Marijuana Mania LA episode. And I just remember Ivan's personality was so dry, but like so real. He was like, hey, don't get scared when you show up in the hood, fool. And he just hung up. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? We pulled up and the shit was in the hood. And I
right
was
across the street from it, right? Like from like
yeah, I mean, this is before that. That's before the location of Boyle Heights. It was their first location. I was really impressed with how Ivan was running his business. I was impressed by the quality of weed. I just told him, let's do something. Bro, I like to work with people. You mentioned earlier when we were talking like all the different collaboration items I have. I like to work with people. That's why I chose the business route I took with like our store expansion and stuff like that. I like to collaborate with people on things. And so we decided to do a brand. We were the first brand with the Exotiks name in it. I still pay that registered trademark every year or every whatever month it is. I always sign it when I see my invoices come in. But before there was all this exotic shit, that was me and his shit. I came up with the name, came up with the logo, had my brother Al Fresco. I kind of art directed it with him, came up with the powerful logo. He had the genetics, he had some cultivation on lock, and we fucked with it and we killed it, and it's still there. If we ever want to bring it back, we could bring it back. I always kind of call him and bullshit every now and then and say, bro, like, let's run an Exotiks collab in Florida. Let's do it somewhere. And so it's there if people want to see it again. If he wants to do it, I'm open to it. He's a good dude to work with. He grows good weed. I'm good at what I do. And we actually have a lot of genetics that I can bring to the table now too.
That's a legendary thing, bro. I mean, you guys have like consistently been going up and up and
bro,
up.
Ivan kills it. And like I just told him the last time we spoke, I said, let's put it in the universe. London pound cake times strawberry shortcake. Let's run that one first for Exotic.
That'd be legendary too in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, because
I'll even let him produce it. I just want to see that collab happen. I mean, I have popped off strawberry shortcake with him, and London pound cake is one of our staples. So
yeah, 100%. So what? Like, I guess just real quick with that though. So what? You guys were gonna get a buyout from Exotiks from like the Canadian company, you just didn't want to take the stock, right?
It wasn't a Canadian company. Canadian company offered to buy Cookies, and I didn't want the stock.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say which group, but a group offered us a sizable amount of money to buy Exotiks, and at the time, Ivan was actually having a baby at the time, and he was occupied, and he was busy, and that was just like the universe telling us that it wasn't worth that deal. There was some good cash up front, and there was some good stock up front, a good stock that came with it, but that deal wasn't a deal for us. It didn't happen for a reason. I'm glad it didn't happen, but it was some real money.
Yeah,
people
100%.
Found value in what we did, and it was a big company that wanted to buy us, but we both kind of didn't feel it was the right play.
Yeah.
He more felt it than I did. At the time, I was like, shit, we can get kicked up and put it back into our own businesses. It was an easy play, but he kind of distanced himself from the negotiation, and I kind of felt that he's a smart dude, and so if he doesn't want to fuck with it, then it's probably not the right deal. So thank God we didn't do it.
But that was kind of one of your very first collabs, I guess, right? Like flat collab deals, really?
No, I did hella before that. I mean, that's my
well,
first.
I'm saying like
that's
brand,
my first collab brand,
right?
Yeah. So and just so you know, the thought behind Exotiks was what we try to do with the other portfolio brands. So my thought with Exotiks in the first place when I sat down with Ivan was, let's do something with all the breeders that we respect, have them bring some shit to the table, give them the credit, help build them up, right? Do collabs with everybody. So we had my boy from Denver bring the Fabuloso. We had third gen Brandon bring some genetics. We had a couple of his people bring genetics. My boy Brett from Lemonade brought some genetics. We had a pool full of genetics that we were gonna run, and the whole thought was like, you got the cultivation, I have the relationships, I have the palate, I have the eye for good strains, rolling out good strains, the branding of it. Let's build this platform for a bunch of breeders to come together and do some dope ass shit. And so when that kind of fell apart, that's when you kind of see me do, some of the partnerships like with Mints or with you know, with some other partners that we partner with. You know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been cool to see how that all develops, but yeah, it's always interesting when I look at you and Ivan, because it's like Ivan's more seen as like kind of the grower, you're seen as more of like the entrepreneur kind of, you know.
Well, it's like it's honestly like it's also like two different business models, right?
Yep.
Like the way that he's taken his business is
Vertical.
It's very different than mine. He's vertically integrated in every aspect. He grows his own weed. He runs his own stores. He makes his own hash. He makes his own rosin. He kills it, right? And there's a big plus to that. But the way I did my business was, again, going back to wanting to work with people and liking to work with people and seeing the value of working with people in other markets to be able to expand fast. We just partner with people. It's not like we let anyone open up a cookie store. We don't let anyone just cultivate for cookies. We try to cherry pick the best people around the country to expand as fast as we can. And sometimes those partnerships are good for right then, but then other things come online that are better for the brand, and we work backwards. But our goal was to expand with the other MSOs, and I think I always wanted to take that approach. Ivan's good with owning his portfolio and controlling his portfolio. I've seen some of the other people coming in the space that wanted to go global and wanted to go nationwide, and I was like, I want to go head to head with them.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing this since I've been 18 legally, and I know that there needs to be someone that loves weed in a position that these other people are in, right?
100%.
So
and you saw the speed with it too, right? Because the speed and like of growth is going to be much faster with the small, right?
But you should also look at this on some entrepreneur shit. Like everyone else in that top 10 brands of cannabis, revenue-wise or just whatever it may be, we're in that top 10. They've raised anywhere from like $500 million to $2 billion.
Yeah.
We've only raised like a little under 60 total, and so like I've been able to do what they've been able to do with like a fucking baby fraction of their money. So it's all about up here, right? And so I like working with people. We had a good game plan. I had a different agenda of like what I wanted my business to look like and be, and neither of them are wrong. They're both good.
They're both good, dude. Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
they're just totally different ones.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see, like, you know, I think honestly, like, I think Ivan saw what you did and like probably learned, you know, I think he's made some kind of slight moves that have.
And you know, they're both difficult. There's nothing easy about being vertically integrated. There's nothing easy about working with 200 people with egos and their own agendas and their own visions as well. You have to kind of bring people back into the circle sometimes by, no, we're doing this, and this is why we're doing this, and this is why we're doing it like this, right? And 100%. So they're both hard to manage, and so hats off to him and hats off to me. We're still in the game, and that's why I think we still have a good relationship and a good friendship, because we both go through some shit to be where we're at. And people think it's easy and we got it good, and, you know, it's just this or that, but it's a lot of work goes into
absolutely.
shit.
And there's mad respect there, you know. No, it's dope. So going back to like what you were talking about, this is the thing that's crazy to me. This is dealing with 200 people. Like Cookies at this point, right? There's like different factions within Cookies, right? You're kind of the power center, right? Let's just, you know, kind of diagram it like that. But there's all these different licensing groups that come into play, right? So how do you manage that, and how is like, I kind of want to jump into that.
Dealing with all those people is tough, and I just have to just kind of keep myself focused and remember what I'm trying to do. So I think the biggest challenge is that you'll partner with somebody, and this person will have an incredible amount of talent. They'll be hardworking people. They'll be talented cultivators or talented operators. You partner with them, and they get some kind of juice and motion they've never felt or seen before. And then they think it's easy, and they want to kind of build their own thing, right? And they want to build their own thing, and they want to do it on their own. And then what you guys partnered on is not really that valuable to them anymore, and it kind of starts to fall apart a little bit. And then you have to kind of reapproach that partnership. And so that's the hardest thing about it. But I like the challenge of like being a leader and like having a bigger vision and keeping people aligned with that vision, because if we do it right, we all eat, we all win, right? And so these partnerships are, like I said, not anyone could do it. They're hand selected by us, and we trust people and we give them trust. And sometimes it works out great, and sometimes it doesn't work out so great. But I think it works out great more often than it doesn't work out. And the few times that it doesn't work out, you just kind of learn more and more about like, all right, next time we do a deal with someone, we should probably ask them, what is your long-term goal? Like, what's your vision? Like, what would be a home run for you besides just doing this cookie store? Like, do you have visions of building a brand? If you do, like, can we do that together so it's not feeling like it's a competitive thing? We can let each other build together. Don't build around me, build with me. And so that's been my new approach, is like, look, if there's something you want to do in this store, if you want to pop a brand off and have it on the shelf, if you're a cultivator, I'm good with that. Let's just make sure we know what that is. If you're a store operator and you want to bring in some friends' brands and stuff like that. Let's just be aligned on what that is. Let's make sure it's about quality and not just favors. And so, you know, at the end of the day, managing a lot of people is not easy, but it's allowed us to expand pretty fast. And it's allowed me to work with some fucking dope-ass people around the country and around the world. Like, the fact there's people in Thailand cultivating bomb-ass weed for me right now is amazing. And I get to see the videos. And the fact I've met QC people I've been able to build with in Thailand to source product and call me and say, Burn, I'm smoking it right now, but it ain't really burning the way I want it to burn. I'm like, good, brother. Let me know when you find what. And so I'm able to work with people, right? And so you have to put trust in people. But that's something that I feel like, besides collaborating with people, we're putting people in position. We're helping uplift people that wouldn't have a place in this industry right now. So I feel good about it. I like it. I have fun doing it. And it's a risky way to go about things, but I feel like I have, you know, the
risky in which way? I mean, you have more people. Inherently, you're gonna have more exposure to different.
Just risky in the sense that like people could leak genetics. People could like again try to build around you or try to build things from your stores that like end up being a competitor to you. But when you're comfortable in your own skin and you know what you got, then it doesn't really bother you like that. You know what I mean? So it could be risky in the sense that you'll build with somebody and somebody might want to turn on you one day and build something else, but I don't look like that as an issue. It could fold some other people. If you don't have thick skin, if you're not prepared, if you're not comfortable where you are in life, then it could fold an average motherfucker fast.
Absolutely. And so like with the licensing, right? So it's almost like, for example, like you have different like groups and then there's individuals, right? And like, for example, like say TRP, right? That's a partner with you guys, right? And so they manage certain stores. Do they go out and find licensees to manage themselves? So is it like kind of three levels? Or?
It's kind of like, you know, I've seen them do it multiple different ways. They've done it to where like they'll go find someone to manage a store and they'll kind of like be the middleman for it because they have rights to certain markets. So like in Florida, they're vertically integrated. So they do the cultivation, they run the stores, and there's multiple other stores that they run. Like we work with TRP's groups on like marketing and branding and, you know, what we think should be on the shelf, etc., activation and stuff like that. And so there's stores that they operate, and there's a few stores that other people operate. I think most like the social equity stores, other people operate. Like we have multiple stores with them where social equity partnership where they kind of run that store.
How many partners do you think total? Like you said, 200 roughly.
I just throw that number out there. I mean, for when it comes to cultivation and storefronts, definitely over 200. Yeah, I think so.
Wild.
When you think about like manufacturers, co-packers, distributors, storefronts, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is nuts, dude. So you know Parker, right? Obviously, how does he help you out with that, and how does he kind of fit into everything? I'm always curious about that. I don't even know what he looks like. Actually, I think I do. I don't even know what Parker. I've always heard his name.
Nah, man, I got to give a lot of props and give my flowers to Parker because he honestly taught me how to be actually how to structure my business. Mm-hmm. Look, before I met Parker, bro, and before I made him the president of my company, I would just do homie handshake deals. I mean, before Connected, it was my brother Jason in San Jose with a dispensary, and we popped it off. We threw cookies on the wall, and we grew a bunch of cookies genetics in the back of his store. We sold our bud to him, and you know, it was a pop in that store. It was so pop in the city of San Jose, shut that bitch down. That bitch had lines going down the block. My boy Jason ran San Jose. And, you know, then from there I went to Connected and I did a licensing deal with Connected and started realizing like, man, like it's good money because Connected, you know, I still forever thankful for that partnership. It did three things. It was able to bring our genetics to scale in a bigger way. Yeah. Opposed to like our little shady ass grows in the Sunset District. Like it was able to grow it in the scale so more people could touch what we're talking about.
Legitimize it, kind of build it up. Yeah.
It just made it more tangible. So shout out to Connected for that. They paid me good, and I think that both they've spoken about it in interviews, I've spoken about it in interviews. I'm thankful for that. But the one thing I noticed is they were raising money as Cookies. And
that's crazy. Okay.
In their emails, I would see emails where they're like fundraising, and they're fundraising as Cookies. I'm like, we don't own part of Cookies. You have a licensing deal. And they had a licensing deal.
So that's what that's all from.
So they had a licensing deal for flower, and then I saw them starting to make hash and try to do pens and try to do edible. I'm like, hey, hold up. Yo, you have a licensing deal for flower. And I realized like, man, like this is cool, but like I need to figure out how to structure my business because I'll be the first one to admit I'm from the game. I'm great at marketing and branding. I'm great at like connecting the dots. I'm great at my networking, my relationships. I'm good at just selling bud. My team members and my partners are good at breeding bud, and so what we really missed was that business infrastructure. I never graduated fucking high school. I never really. Yeah. I'm a hustler, bro, but I didn't know how to structure a business, and so after a while, I think that we both kind of agreed that like, hey, it's probably better you guys start your own brand, go have your own destiny, because you're not Cookies. As much as you tell people you're Cookies and you're raising money as Cookies, you're not Cookies. That's my shit.
Did they actually get like real money off of Cookies, off like a fundraise?
I'm sure they did great.
Yeah.
And they're still doing great.
Yeah. And shout out to Luc, shout out to Caleb.
Bro, shout out to Luc and Caleb, brother. Shout out to you two. I haven't spoken to you in years, but just so they see this, because I'm at a point in my life, bro, I'm super like level-headed at this time. There's no more like outbursts of like drama, and so thank you to them. But like, we just both realized that they're not Cookies, and
they had to find their own identity.
They should start their own company, and so they transitioned to Connected while I was still working with them, and I promoted Connected for a little bit, and that's when I met Parker.
And then that's how that kind of came in.
And Parker kind of gave me up like, bro, we should structure this as a fucking company and build your own IP and build your own company, and let's go build our own stores. And at the time I met Parker, I was working with my partners at Cookies Maywood and opening our first flagship store.
And that's Steve LaBelle, Serge, that group?
Yep. So that's when I was like, all right, this is a pivotal time in our career, because you have to understand, with the Connected deal, we left them with the Gelato 41, the Biscotti, all the things that had been blowing up for years. That was our SOP, that was our IP, that was our genetics, that was our shit. We had to leave that with them. We couldn't, in our separation contract, I couldn't use that anymore, which hurt. I'm talking about Sunset Sherbet, Gelato 41, Gelato 33, Biscotti, all the things that was ours. We had to leave that with them. But I took the challenge. I'm like, all right, cool. That's when we came out with London Pound Cake, Gary Payton, Cereal Milk. And that's when we opened up the Cookies Maywood and the Cookies Melrose store. And that's when I met Parker, and that's when we started forming our business.
What year was that around?
I'm terrible with years.
Yeah,
when we went red.
2017, 2018, right?
Boom. So when I sat down with Parker, he really gave me up on, this is how you structure a business. This is how you build a team. This is how you let go of some of these things that you've been holding on to so you can move further. And this is how we're going to be able to expand without having to raise hella money. And I love that idea, because I'm like, I don't want to dilute. And the fact that I still own the amount of equity I own in Cookies is pretty unheard of. Like when you look at unicorn companies, look at Apple, Steve Jobs had like less than 1%, something like that, right? And so I'm not going to get into what I own of Cookies, but I own a lot of Cookies, and it's very unheard of for someone in my position to own this amount of Cookies, but it's only possible because Parker gave me the game on how we're going to structure our business, how we're going to expand. We kind of treat it like tech a little bit.
100%. I mean, for anybody watching too, like, this is a kind of a great example of like, this is what's going to happen. This is what has to happen, is the culture, the streets, like they have to merge kind of with the business corporate.
Bro, I really like that you said that, because I look at a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people ask me, what's some advice you can give me? The number one thing I hear when people talk about me and my business is Berner went corporate, Berner's corporate. There's nothing wrong with
that.
There's nothing wrong with finding people that are smarter than you, that have knowledge that you don't have, and attaching what you have to that knowledge to expand your business and to make it legitimate. I got children, right? Another one on the way at 40 years old. And so I want to leave this business and my empire for my kids. And had I not partnered with people that had the kind of knowledge that Parker had, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in this building right now. Look at this building.
You need to survive, bro. This is the thing, is like these people out here in the industry that are low key, let's be real, a lot of these people are people that are hurting in a number of different ways. But like, the people just get mad at success now, going and partnering with Truly, with like that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily, that's not my.
Here's another thing though, because it's not even that everyone gets mad at success. People are scared of change. And the cannabis industry is a very small community, right? Yep. And they're used to living a certain way, and we're used to touching a brown bag right away, and we're used to getting money right away when we move something. But I'm building I make zero money off Cookies Cannabis side right now. I'm building for the big play, right? Big play, yeah. I'm reinvesting into everything we have in hyper growth mode right now, right? And so you can't be scared to adapt with change, and you cannot be scared to set yourself up for success and to build something that's real, right? And I think the thing is, make sure you do what I did with Cookies, which is I still have full control. Everything creative comes through me. the menu planting and I worked on this last night, like at 12:30 a.m. with my partner Omar. I'm menu planning for 2024 and 2025 right now. I'm picking all the stuff that we have in our nursery that I want to see ramped up in every market. So the control is with me, the vision is with me, and the branding and marketing and creative side of things is with me, and the ultimate decision is with me. And this building that we're sitting in right now that has Cookies logos everywhere is owned by me. It's not owned by the company. And so if you're going to partner with somebody and you're going to build your business, you're going to start infrastructure, make sure that the person that you're partnering with or the group that you're partnering with understands that it's your vision, it's your brand. People do just think that I'm just the face or a puppet.
Yeah, you're definitely not.
But the thing is, I wish that was the case. If that was the case, I'd probably be in a great fucking mood right now. But
a lot less stressed out.
I do everything. I'm extremely hands-on from everything, from menu planning to partnerships to negotiations to storefront design to fucking, you name it. I'm hands-on with everything, and I'm proud of that. But point being is that there was a very important decision to be made when, and it happened recently, and Parker's like, bro, this is your brand, this is your company, this is your vision. I'm here to back you. So whatever you decide you want to do in this situation, I got your back 100%. Don't ever forget that. And so it's like, if you find the right partner, right, like, it's not like they're going to be a yes man, but they're going to understand that when it comes to the vision, brand preservation, and mission, so long as it stays with you, you're the only one that can drop that bag. You're the only one that can fumble the bag.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Very well said.
I love when people say that. You're just the face, you're just the puppet.
Oh, yeah. But I do think, you know, people like to throw shots however they can.
It's convenient for people to justify how hard I work just by saying I'm just a puppet, because your boy is 100% dedicated to everything. I go to bed working, I wake up working, I get up at fucking 5:30 a.m. every day and just start mapping out my day and mapping out my shit. And I think sometimes the downfall to my mental health is being so hands-on, but this success to my business is being so hands-on. Absolutely. I don't think we would have closed on a very strategic partnership with Bic Lighter if I wasn't so hands-on in that conversation. And
hey, just want to say a big thank you to the Breeders Agency for supporting this content. If you guys go to thebreedersagency.com, go check it out. If you're a breeder or if you are a commercial company looking for, you know, to work with different breeders, go over to thebreedersagency.com. We're going to link that down below in the pinned comment and in the description. But go over there, go see our boy Dan, and he's going to take care of you. He's going to be able to, you know, facilitate a bunch of different things for breeders, as well as for commercial companies looking to take their, you know, cultivation to the next level. So go check them out. It's thebreedersagency.com. Anyways, let's jump back into it.
Yeah, no, just Vibes has a very strategic partnership with Bic Lighter right now, and we're gonna see what we can do.
Why is that a power? That's a power play though, right?
Well, it's a power play because Bic. I mean, have you been to a liquor store, or grocery store where you have not seen?
Never
Bic
not
Lighter?
seen them. Yeah, so they're gonna be right next to them.
Bic has 90% market share in around the world, and I think that they just wanted an authentic, real grassroots rolling paper brand to maybe even just distribute and, you know, maybe have as an item that they can offer to their stores and their accounts. And they have some pretty good fucking accounts, legacy accounts. That's probably pretty difficult to get into.
Distributor accounts that are huge, like, yeah.
Yeah, and so, you know, it's a very simple deal, but it's a very powerful deal because I look at them as like one of the staple brands in America, right? Like, as human beings, like, forget America, around the world. As human beings, there's certain companies that built around the world that touch the whole world. Cookies is one of those companies. No one can take that from me. We touched the whole world. I've seen people from Scotland with our tattoos on their head with our logo. I've met people from Ireland. I met people from, you name it, dude. They're repping Cookie hard. Yeah. So I'm like, Bic is one of those companies that touch people around the world, but just killed it in business. And so to be able to align with them with Vibes, which is like the underdog of rolling papers, like it's great. Like it's a huge thing, but that's part of being hands-on with your shit.
Yeah, and not to go too deep into this, but it's always interesting. Like, you know, it seems like the rolling paper industry, it's like really like 2-3 actors, 4, right? And it's like hard to break into that. And you know, you guys are doing that. You got to be.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a 1 in a million. 1 in a million rolling paper brands will break through and actually, like, because everyone makes papers, like a lot of brands make papers, a lot of people make papers, but Vibes just hit different, bro. I came with passion and purpose, and like that shit's killing it, and it's an incredible name, and I can't believe we got it trademarked, and The clothing's killing it, and I think that if everything goes well, as I expect with Bic, it's gonna be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and so they're pretty much going to be able to like, I mean, your sales are going to go like once they really kick it into.
Well, you know, it has a lot to do with like sell through. Like we're going to approach it slow. We're going to crawl before we walk. We're going to offer it to a couple chains, and we're going to make sure it does well. But that now I can put the marketing play full throttle, because when we're like going distributor to distributor, or like we're dealing with like sub distributors, I couldn't really put the full gas behind vibes because it wasn't tangible everywhere. People are like, bro, I can't find your shit. And so that's kind of what happened to Hemp 2.0. I started Hemp 2.0, and Hemp 2.0 was killing it in the stores it was in, but the brand didn't really grow because it wasn't tangible. It wasn't everywhere.
You need to have distribution, right? That's the key.
You have to have distribution. Yeah. So now that I have a distribution partner that's going to start shopping it, you know, small region by region, I could put the full force marketing play behind it and not feel crazy.
You have the machine now that can really, you can now apply your full force of marketing to that can actually withstand.
And I have a building, 20,000 square foot building that we're in right now is dedicated 100% to content and marketing. So it's perfect timing for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I've heard you talk too about like media being kind of like your platforms or your protection, right? Which I thought is really smart. It's just true. Like, you know, the bigger the voice you have, the more protection you have because you can, you know, explain your side of, you know, whatever's happening in that moment. What is, I guess, the play with media in terms of the future and what?
I mean, media for me is my passion, bro. Like music, through your work that you do as a person, by creating a really big brand and by putting things on film, right? Like from these interviews will be around when we're gone. You know, documentaries will be around when I'm gone. Like movies I write and, you know, produce and help direct will be around when I'm gone. So I've always been obsessed with trying to live forever through my work. I feel like it just adds that, but media is a passion of mine. I'm good at it. I'm good at kind of directing it, especially with my team. Like my guy Yoshi behind the camera now, like when you find someone else that knows you and your style, if you tell them what you want, they can bring it to life. Like even the baby announcement we just did, like it was just a small thing, but like, man, it just killed it dead on. I was like, bro, I want to do A, B, C, D, F, G, and it just boom. And we filmed it like in an hour and he edited it in like in 2.5 hours. And it was a beautiful fucking way to announce, you know, my son. So I think that like, it's just a passion for me to kind of like write and kind of like co-produce, kind of co-direct content. And so, you know, our first film is being shot in January. It's called Splash City. It's a feature film. It's a full film about the Bay Area, about the bin in the window popping out here. And from there, it's going to be up. I can tell you without going into details, I'm working on developing a show with FX, but I can't really talk about what kind of show or who I'm working with on it, but I'm working with FX, bro. I think that, like, again, if you look at, that's a very powerful partnership right there. Like, FX is legit. They're one of the biggest, and they got Hulu as a streaming partner, and so my kind of game plan with the media side of things is to build on that show and just have a body of content to maybe present to them when that show's a success and done.
Are you gonna go into like start to do the full, cause like the way, I mean, like I've been studying the media game for a while now, and like if you have your own media production team and then you start to produce, like if you have your own production company and then you go like, shop it with people, that's how you make the real money.
All right, so you're dead on what I'm doing here. That's why I told you when you called me, I'm like, you're gonna see what we're really doing here and be fired up, because if you look at like the people that are successful in
Tyler Perry, right? Will Smith,
Tyler Perry, Adam Sandler, Ice Cube,
all have their own production.
All those guys own their own studios. And so if I got a show being developed with FX right now and they're really excited about it, and so am I, and I pray to God put the energy in the air that it actually gets produced, because you know how it goes. 1 out of 15 make it.
My dad was a former filmmaker,
Right, so if I make it with this show and then I have my own studio producing content in the background right now, whether it be mini docs, cooking shows, feature films, whatever it may be, I have a better chance of succeeding with in Hollywood if I go to my partners at FX and say, hey, that show we did killed it. Here's a whole body of work.
You got data, you got body of work, data,
Here's a whole body of work I got right here that I'm producing myself. I'm the studio. What do you guys think about it? Could we work a deal with Hulu? Could we do something?
Go shop it around.
You know, so that's I want to be the studio.
Get that Adam Sandler deal. What was that deal he got? He got some fucking wild. He got like,
crazy deal.
It's like 8 movies for like, I think it was like 800 million, something crazy, bro.
But here's another thing though. When you own the studio and you're producing your content, you don't have to please the buyer. If you're a creative trying to get a film produced, then they're gonna say, this is what the buyers are looking for right now. the buyers want to film about this, or that's not such a hot topic for the buyers right now. Well, my whole thing is creative shouldn't be told what they should make. Creative should create what they want to create.
Yeah.
So if I'm creating my own shit, my own studio, and the product's finished, so long as it's good, I'll find a home for it. No one's had any kind of part in what I created. No one's telling me, you should add a character that represents this in there. Nah, it's whatever the fuck I want to create.
It's also too like, we're in this era now where like Hollywood is starting to kind of fall apart or get rearranged, right? And it's like, you know, I have friends that do movies. They've sold movies to HBO, but they have to do a lot of the marketing themselves, right? Like they get like a small like $20,000 budget for marketing. But it's like, if you're a creator now, you got your own independent platforms like on YouTube, you've got so much more leverage too, potentially.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a whole studio, like you're still building it, or?
I mean, the goal right now is like have everyone that does like the content team here, have everything being edited here. I'll have all my shooters here. I want to have my creative here, like my design team here. I want to have everything that from a creative standpoint happens here, right? Everything from innovation to anything I have to build content wise or brand wise should be built right here, right? This is the brains of my company and my business. It's not just business. But the warehouse that you saw when you first walked in, I'm planning to probably develop at least 1 or 2 sets there, so we could produce our in-house shows. Like we have a couple really good ideas for shows that we could produce ourselves, like television show style. So our studio would be in there, and that's just a very small way to start. You know, like that's my baby Tyler Perry moment right there. Like, all right, cool. We have 2 in-house sets. We film our TV shows here. If for some reason we ever sell one of those TV shows, it's gonna benefit us greatly having it here. You know?
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. I love that. It's definitely the future, bro. Media, having that. Any modern business, in my opinion, especially in cannabis, I mean, you need to have your own media infrastructure, your own in-house, you know, it's like critical. How'd you meet Yoshi, by the way? How'd you?
Man, I met Yoshi on, Fareed, a shout out to my brother Fareed. Fareed had linked up with Yoshi, but I first met Yoshi, I think, on the Marijuana Mania shoot in Humboldt. Is that the first time I met you? I've met Yoshi in Humboldt.
That was very good at it. I love that. I love that video.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like fucking 13 million views.
Yeah, that went off too. We went, it went stupid, bro.
It killed it. And so like, I met Yoshi there and I recognized his talent. And then I just been working with him for the last since then. And him and his brother Chowder are probably some of the hardest working guys I know. Like him, Chowder, and Benny, like they know how to film something or shoot something and turn it around right away. But more importantly, they know my style. They know what I want to see. And so it's dope.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to that, man. You guys, yeah. It's been dope, everything they've been producing. It's like, I'm like, when I watch some of the newer documentaries that they've been working on, I'm like, damn, they're like, how many people work on that?
Man, he did Marijuana Mania in New York by himself.
That's crazy, bro.
It's a 2-hour
Respect,
episode,
brother.
bro. Like,
yeah,
hey,
it's a movie.
Bro, we shot that shit. We spent 6 days filming that shit, and this goes back to people saying I'm just a fucking puppet, which makes me laugh. Bro, we wake up in the morning, we hop in back-to-back SUVs, we go hit everywhere, bro. We go pull up in Bronx, we go pull up in Brooklyn, we go pull up over here, we go pull up over here, we go pull up over here. We're filming all day long.
To shoot that much, bro, in 6 days, because I've been out to New York now like 4 times this year. I mean, bro, just with the traffic, getting places, bro, like that's impressive.
Bro, to get all those places, to tap in with everyone we tapped in with, to go to Washington Square Park, to go to the hood, and fuck it, in the Bronx, go tap in with the people over there at D9. Like everything that we did was unrealistic. It was crazy. And like I had COVID the last 2 days. So like, you know, we really shot 4 days. The other 2 days I was down. I got sick shooting that shit.
That's
I risked my life. I risked my life for that fucking documentary.
No, for real. I mean that that was super well done, bro.
Yeah, that shit's dope.
Yeah. Quick question. So I have this theory, right, with genetics, with strains, where I think that the streets create simplicity and create the ability for a Cookies or a Runts, now an LGC, to like proliferate, like be the dominant strain of like the country. And then I see legalization bringing in a lot more options and a lot more, more fragmentation. Do you think, because it's like really like, you know, Cookies, Runts, and then Runts again, but LGC, right? Like, let's keep it a buck, right? I don't know. I mean, like, it's just really like they're like, Runts is so good, but the name has been overused, so let's now move LGC because it's just a different name, but it's
Yeah.
got all the same characteristics that we want. We'll just, that's pretty much what happened. But like, but do you think like, in my theory, like I said, is I think as more legalization happens, it's going to be much more regional now. It's going to be hard. Like, I did that video on the Backpack Boys and like Lemon Cherry Gelato, and like what I said in that video was, I think it's the last time we're going to see a national, like a dominant strain like that. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't think so, man. Shout out to my brother Juan. Shout out to the Backpack Boys. They did a great job. They
shout out to Canatique too, and all the other people that were part of that.
They hit it hard. Like Backpack Boys hit it hard. They put that shit on the map. And like, I think what my opinion of this is we've seen it happen with every strain. We've seen it happen with Granddaddy Purple. We've seen it happen with OG Kush. We've seen it happen with Bubba Kush. We've seen it happen with Sour Diesel. We've seen it happen with Girl Scout cookies. We've seen it happen with Gelato. We've seen it happen with Runts. And then Runts turned Lemon Cherry Gelato. People have very baby palates, right? People see something they like and they just want that, right? And so I was talking to someone the other day, they said, Bern, like, we feel like with cookies, man, you're missing right now because you're so stubborn trying to find and introduce new flavor profiles that like you're missing the wave. Everyone just wants candy. They just want Z, they just want Lemon Cherry Gelato. I said, but bro, that's not what I'm in it for. Like, if I was in it just to make money, then I would for sure be selling Skittles 20 different ways and selling Lemon Cherry / Runts 20 different ways. I'm into unique weed. The weed I've been smoking all day while we've been sitting here, this shit is very unique. This is a Sierra a la mode crossed with a Sherb Z. So the Sherb Z kind of gives it what people want right now, that candy taste. But the Sierra a la mode was cereal milk and, that cross right there, it's a whole new world of
You want to start your own wave rather than writing other like.
I have too much pride, bro. Yeah. And like if you really look at it, like we kick shit off, and so I'm gonna answer your question two ways. So do I think that it's gonna be the last time? No, because the next time something hits again, people are gonna like it a lot and just want to push it, and everyone's gonna have their version of it, right? But like, I don't think you need to have the streets, because general perception is like, in order to make a strain pop, you gotta just go trap hard everywhere. So because I got so many eyes on me, because my business is so big, I can't do what most people do, which is go flood shit, right? And put shit on so hard that like the streets see it and the streets pop it off. I take pride in the fact that cereal milk, I launched cereal milk and branded cereal milk and popped cereal milk off with 1 ounce. It was 1 ounce. It was 1 ounce that we had from R&D that Kenny Powers gave me. I took the ounce to LA. I strategically placed the ounce in the right hands. And it went viral as fuck. And by the time that people start hearing cereal milk, hearing it from the right people, it was in our stores and they tasted it and it caught like wildfire. When you pull it up, you see me with a half P. I showed you that's the new strain right here. I'm about to name it today with my boys.
Smelling amazing.
You probably have some background BTS of us kind of like getting together and trying new phenos and coming up with the ones that we like and selecting here, because afterwards that's what we're doing. I got my boys from Earth Rhythm coming down and Fuego family coming down with a bunch of new jars, and then we're gonna smoke through every one of those at that fucking long table till I leave here fucking lost, and we're gonna pick which ones we like. But the point being is that I popped off cereal milk with the 1-zip, right? And the half pound you saw me with earlier, I'm about to go to LA and I'm gonna do a taste test. I'm gonna pop this shit off again with just a half P. So the general perception is like, in order to pop a new strain off, you have to go trap hella hard and get the streets 11. The streets got, that's cool. That's what I used to do when I was a kid. But right now, as a grown ass business owner, I gotta be strategic. You gotta roll shit out with class. You gotta make sure it hits. You gotta make sure that when people touch it, they're like, God damn, what is that? Because we're having some serious conversations. I can't put this shit down. It just tastes too good.
No, 100%.
And I'm prideful that like, I didn't have to re-rock a lemon cherry to get some shit popping. I'm prideful I could find something like this after hunting for hella long with Kenny on new shit. Like, I think Gary was our last really, really big one. You know, the Fly and the 2090 shit, those were good, but it didn't hit like Gary. And so my mission now is, all right, I want this to hit like Gary. It would be easy for me right now as Berner, right? Just put this in perspective. As me being Berner, it'd be easy for me to go find a bunch of $800, $900 lemon cherry pounds from the best farmers in California and re-rock that 100 different ways and give the people what they want, right? Like, it would be easy for me to do that. What's harder is to find something brand new and find a way to pop it off and get people to switch what they want. I'm like, yo, that's what I like to do. I like the fact that we came in a world of gelato because Connected Higher Gelato, and all people wanted was gelato, 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 gelato. I've been smoking gelato for 8 years already by then. I'm an educated palate. I'm a connoisseur. I'm like, fuck that shit. Let me just bring something brand new. Now, I love gelato. It's like a Whopper. You go to Burger King, you want to have a staple. You want to have the Whopper there, but what's the new? I'm a turd-pour. I want to bring new shit to the table. So I like that we can roll out London Pound Cake, which is such a unique flavor, smell, and taste. I like the fact we can roll out Cereal Milk, which is such a unique flavor and taste. And Gary Payton, the #1 seller in the U.S. at one point in time, such a unique taste and flavor. I like that I could pop that off organically, right? And that's why I live for it. So I was telling my boy, I'm like, I don't want to take the easy way out.
Yeah.
That's too easy.
Yeah.
Like, give me a challenge.
Absolutely. Hey guys, if you guys are looking for some high quality flavors at some high quality prices, go over to my friends at phenohunt.com. It's www.phenohunt.com. You go over there. We've got, the Mac one from Capulator. We've got the Oreo Blitz. So many other amazing flavors. So if you want to support the show, you also want to get some great clones at a great price, definitely come check us out over at phenohunt.com. Use my discount code LMC20. You're gonna get 20% off your entire order. Again, LMC20, you get 20% off your entire order. That's www.phenohunt.com. See you there. Boop. So just, I'm curious, like, if you have any advice. So I showed you this a little bit right before we started filming, but so this is SpaceWeed, right, with this cure. Well, how would you go about trying to get, like, 'cause I'm telling you, bro, I mean, I still gotta win you over on this, but I think this is genuinely the future in every which way, in my opinion, just because of, the many different benefits to this process of sublimation, right, which is extracting moisture content rapidly. How would you, I'm just curious, like, how would you, I mean, like I said, you still gotta try it, you still gotta, how would you try to get the industry / roll this out? I'm just, what's your, just off the top of your head?
I'm gonna give you game, bro. I'm gonna give you game, and I'll give it to you on camera. If you decide to publish it, you can. But what I would do first with that is start off with the content piece. I would explain what that is and how it's done, right? Educate people. What it is and how it's done. Then I would follow up with another content piece on why it's beneficial. You said preserves terps. I would have, alongside with that information, I would have a taste test with a bunch of influential people and connoisseurs and have them taste this compared to other weed. And if you stand behind your shit and if it really tastes better than other things, then they'll see that eventually, right? It's a new category. I've seen this shit in Oregon. I've seen this shit in Seattle a couple times, but no one's actually really put it on the rec market yet. No one's had enough balls to do it because there's controversy against it. I would just go head to head with everybody.
I think it's the perfect amount of controversy too, because it's gonna have enough energy there, right?
And I think it's something so new that no one's ever seen that people would be amazed that they can get a bud this big that feels like it's nothing, right? They'd be like, what the fuck is this?
You're not paying for extra waterway. That's the reason why. But yeah.
And I would find a way also, brother, as you, I would find a way to do. This is cool, right? This is cool, but on the packaging,
needs to get reworked.
What's gonna make you stand out, right? So, if I were you with this product, I'm giving you pure game. Usually I would probably charge $1 million. I'd probably charge $1 million for this kind of game. But for you, brother, I'm gonna give it to you for free because I respect your work.
Thank you, brother.
And I want to see you come up in the game. I wouldn't do a die cut bag for that. I wouldn't do a fancy jar for that. I'd get one of them sick ass colas that feel like it's hella light, and that's so quarter ounces in a fucking tall glass jar.
So you're like feel
that's
like
what I would do,
feel
man. It's like a
feel like the
man.
weight of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's light. No, I think we need to get a little reworking on.
You put a content piece showing what kind of technology this is. You put a content piece explaining why this is good technology. And then you're coming out with something innovative. That's a recipe for success. You have to make sure you stand behind the shit.
Absolutely, bro. I think that's a brilliant idea.
This is cool because it's not glass. I thought it was glass.
No, it's not glass. No, this is like
So you
try
could
look at that though. Try like to smell them too.
You could do a tall one and just have one.
That's we're gonna take that idea for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna do it because it's on documented, right? But that's why I get paid the big bucks.
No, 100%.
Because you can have your eighths and you can have your grams and your quarters, but people will come by that novelty bud just to gift someone.
And that's 100%. And we got all the patents for it too. We got that all locked up.
Don't fuck around and infuse that big bud, then you're gonna have an issue.
No, definitely not.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, and it's crazy, bro. This is the first company I ever started with in legal rec, right? And it's crazy how it's coming full circle now. I believe in this brand. I believe in the technology. A lot of times this technology is just not used right, and if the SOPs aren't, we have, we went and designed our own machines in China, brought them back. But
This is crazy. It's so light. Dude.
It's so light, but it doesn't like crumble it up though. You don't need really a grinder, bro. To be honest, like, but it doesn't dust though. It doesn't get dusty at all. And like, for example, bro, you could technically, the thing about it is like, you know how you harvest, right? You have a certain amount of time that you have to do that within, right? Because, it gives you a lot more versatility. Like you could keep it frozen for a while if you don't have enough space to dry it. What do you think about the smell?
I think you can get some better genetics.
We need better genetics, specifically tailored for this technology.
Yeah, because this one, like it's kind of like a dull nose. It looks hella pretty.
It looks great, dull nose. Like we're here.
Probably look good on camera. I want to see what it looks like on camera, like because that's always key.
Yeah. This one looks pretty crazy on camera.
Yeah, fucking video as well. It looks good. I'm gonna smoke it, see what it does, see how it tastes. But like how light it is pretty amazing,
Yeah, smell that. Is that the Oreos or?
It's Oreos.
Okay.
Is that actually really Oreos?
Yeah.
I wonder if it does anything to the chart. Let me see that one. Which one is this?
This one, that's the Oreos too, actually. Try this one here. This is the old school lemon. Here, smell that.
Oh yeah.
So it needs a genetics thing because it's tailored because that's got the smell.
It's crazy how light this shit is, dude.
Yeah. And the thing about it, bro, is like people don't realize like moisture content is typically, like I said, if you can, bro, try to smoke this. I know it's probably hard because you got so many dope flavors of your own, but try to smoke this like 5 times in a row. And then go back to a regular hang dry, and it's harsh, bro. It gets a little. It's just like there's a lot of people that we've worked with, like a lot of customers of ours that, had like lung surgery, right? They weren't able to smoke regular weed just because it was too harsh and it would hurt but they could smoke this, right? But it's just moisture content, bro. Really, at the end of the day. So
it's interesting. I think you can do a lot of cool shit with that, and since you're the first market with it, actually on the rec side, it could be big.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Yeah, 100. I think it's perfect for collaboration too, because it's really, it's just the drying technology to a certain
For sure,
degree.
you can go into someone's grow and just dry it a certain way, and boom, collab.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll see how that goes. I appreciate that advice, though. I think that's really good advice. And then too, this is my homies. This is kind of funny too. The Hibegone. You get 2 stoned, right? You take that shot. The whole thing with the black pepper, right? Remember the whole.
Is it THCV or what is it?
No, it's nothing in there. So it's if you look at it, it's like L-theanine, alpha. It's like a bunch of like nootropics, right? And it helps get you less high.
Huh.
It gets rid of the high.
Well, I'm probably gonna need that later, dude. When you see what's coming through later, it's gonna be fucking purple sands and all kind of fucking crazy full melt hash, and it's gonna be one of them days, man. It's gonna be a really stony. That's why I'm starting off with a nice strong J now, because I gotta prepare my lung for all this heat coming in this building right now.
No, I took one last night. It was cool. Shout out to my boy Fabian, by the way, for that.
We're gonna see if this works today.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out when I'm fucking having a panic attack in the corner of this building. See if it possibly gives me right.
100%. So, how's the THCA been going?
THCA?
Yeah.
It's going cool. I mean,
are you worried about that 2023 hemp farm bill?
No.
No.
Look, at the end of the day, in business, bro, you have to learn how to adapt with change. Either when there's a loophole, ride with it. When the loophole goes away, adapt with it. THCA could be a lot bigger if I wasn't so fucking attacked on the internet. I can't post shit about shit anymore. Like, my Instagram is so shadow banned. I was talking to my friend that actually works at Facebook, and she was telling me that you should be at 13 million followers at least, with the amount of momentum you have and the kind of engagement you have with your page and the kind of people searching your shit. My shit's been so shadow banned, so I feel like the THCA, if people knew they could really buy real bud and get it sent to their door, it'd be a lot more popular if I can promote that. I can't promote that.
I got a documentary coming out on it soon because a lot of people just don't understand, bro. THCA is, you've been smoking it your whole life, bro. Like,
it's the same shit you're buying in the store right now.
Exactly.
But it has to come from a licensed hemp farm.
Yep.
Right? And it has to test a certain way. So not every batch passes.
Yep.
Some batches come up a little higher than other ones, but
it's all about genetics, though. I've been told, right?
It's all about genetics, but it's all about batch by batch, though, because there'll be certain batches that are just too high, and it is what it is. But There's a certain way to dial that shit in, but I mean, it's just THCA is just weed, bro. It's just weed that tests under a certain number for a certain situation. At the end of the day, like, I wish I could promote it more because it's a great thing, and you could be in New York and order a straight 18 Cali to your door right now. Right now, you order a to your door for a good ass price, and I have to go nowhere and do nothing. But I think that if it was promoted right, it'd be popping. But I think that I haven't really been able to put the behind it, so it's just good right now. It's doing
good. 100%. And we'll have to see what happens with them trying to maybe close that loophole up or whatever you want. It's not really a loophole, but it is a loophole. But
yeah, it's not really a loophole because they passed it knowing what it is.
It's honestly the funniest thing though ever, bro. Is like you look at like Mitch McConnell, and I'm, I don't like either side of politics really, but he's definitely he's not really for cannabis, and he ended up legalizing cannabis like on accident pretty much.
And no one even knows it. And I've seen a lot of people throwing a fit about it, and it's like, look, man, like, we're all in it for the same reasons. We want to share this good weed, and so this is a great way to share it. It's a bigger step towards legalization. It's not some weird shit. Like, it's not some
Delta 8. This is the big thing. That's where it gets confusing.
And Delta 8, bro, like, again, like, man, people are going to do what they're going to do, right? And so my whole thing is like, man, like, don't knock anyone's hustle. Do what you want to do. Why hate on the next person?
Why to hate? And honestly, like, you got to play to win, bro.
I'm trying to feed a beast right now. Yeah. Cookies is a huge company. Any way we can make revenue right now, we're going to make it because we're expanding. We're competing with some big dogs with big money and fucking big portfolios. So whatever we got to do to stay alive right now, especially in this current time, we're going to do. I have no shame in it at all.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
That shit's fire. Down to the bone. That motherfucker tastes like candy. Ooh, that's a good one right there.
So, with, I guess, kind of a segue with that, with Social Club, right? I've heard you talk recently on all the interviews you've done recently about it. What's the long? Because I think we talked a little bit about this, but I feel like the long-term play in a lot of ways with that is setting it up to be the eBay of weed, almost not the eBay, but where people can showcase their like once you put in the commerce aspect to it long term, then I could see like an Amazon just acquiring you guys, something like that, like long term. I don't know.
So Social Club is it's like everything else I have. It takes time. So like Vibes just got an incredible partnership opportunity with Big Lighter. That's boom. Let's bring that home, right? Mm-hmm. My series, the show I'm developing with FX, let's just say it like that to be politically correct. I've been sitting on that for years. I wrote it 3 different ways with 3 different people and finally found the right home for it. So with Social Club, it's the same thing. Did you know now on Social Club, you could do pay to play type broadcasting. So you go to Social Club. I just seen the update come up the other day, and I love my developer Paul because I told him about this and he did it, and I forgot he was working on it. But pretty much, you can go right now to Social Club and go to the Discovery page and see 3 miles, 6 miles, 10 miles, and people that post can pay to show people in a 3 mile, 6 mile, or 10 mile radius what's going on. So what's that good for? That's good for dispensaries. That's good for restaurants. That's good for businesses. It's good for club promoters. It's good for everybody. It's good for single people. So right now you can go on Social Club if people are using it. And I even say myself, it's hard to get me over to Social Club. I'm so Instagrammed out. But if right now you're here and like you're done with this interview, what am I about to get into? What do I want to eat? Where do I want to go? What's going on in this area? You can click 3, 6, and 10. Everything going on right now in real time. Keyword, real time. Real fucking time will pop up on your feed, right? That's the most valuable shit in the game right now. I'm seeing posts on Instagram from 3 days ago. It's a show for an event in Vegas. Why am I seeing it today for the first time 3 days late?
Yeah.
I couldn't have gone to that show if I saw it today. So club promoters are fucked. Event throwers are fucked. People that sell bud are fucked. You can't post in real time. People that post bud on Instagram are fucked. I'm fucked, right? Mm-hmm. So what is it going to take for people to understand that there's no hidden agenda with Social Club? There's nothing but a platform there that, one, allows you to see what's going on in a 3, 6, 10 mile radius. There's also, you can upload your menu for free on Social Club. You can go on Social Club right now and go to your menu, right? And you can add a picture of each one of these buds and how much it costs and where you go get it at for free. There's other companies that charge money for this, right? Also on Social Club, we just about to unlock audio comments and audio captions. So now you could be like, damn, bro, that shit was crazy. And there could be voice comments in your comment sections. You could do a picture of something like, man, I was out there in Hawaii today and this fucking mountain looked magical. And you could do a fucking voice caption. So we have things that Instagram doesn't have at all. We have things that other platforms don't have at all, but people don't want to fuck with it. So the long-term play is to sit on it until the right pickup opportunity comes. And when it comes, we'll have great IP and great tech.
Yeah, that sounds definitely the smart move. It's hard to build out a social media platform because you need a bunch of different niches together, right?
Yeah.
Like, to do just cannabis, that's like, you gotta have other aspects to it more, you know.
Well, that's why, like, Social Club started off as a cannabis app, and I think, you know, the reason why we're kind of like on our own right now is because we had bigger visions. I wanted to be there for restaurants, nightclub promoters, events, all that shit. Like, think about like when you go to Rolling Loud and you want to see the set times or something happens with the weather. Bro, you're not going to see posts in real time. I mean, real time is a very big thing. Algorithm is a very big thing. I want to see if you post that you're going to be dropping a documentary tonight on, you know, so-and-so. I want to see it in real time. I want to see it 3 days from now. I want to see that shit when it premieres. So long-term play with Social Club is real. I just want to wait for the right opportunity.
Absolutely. That was amazing, bro. Yeah, I definitely, I like Twitter too. I mean, like, or X, Social Club, really the two places you don't get censored on. Like,
we have to get people to start using the Social Club though, because it's hard, even myself, to get there, because you do a post and you'll see like 5 comments or something, or 3 comments, and you feel discouraged. But it's because not everyone's using it. Where did my water go? So, you know, if you're watching this right now, if you're a business, if you're a brand, if you're a cultivator, if you love weed, if you love business, if you love connecting with people, if you like to see things in real time, download Social Club. Give us a try. You'll be pretty surprised, because it's almost like a Weed Maps meets Yelp meets fucking TikTok almost, with the innovation with the audio comment section, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, how did you help Wiz Khalifa, by the way, with like the Khalifa? I'm curious about that.
With Wiz, I just gave Wiz game. I mean, that's my guy. He gave me a lot of game. I felt like it was a fair exchange of game. Like, he showed me what the music business could potentially feel and look like, because I was making music for fun and just having fun with it. And he showed me what touring could look like. He told me what merch could look like. He told me what being in a room with bigger people could look like. So I learned a lot from Wiz about like just music industry and music business, and just, I think he actually helped elevate my business too, because I saw a lot of people he was around, got a chance to meet them, and in exchange I put him down with the KK. I mean, he was coming out to the Bay. He only liked OG Kush. I remember there'd be times he'd call me, bro. It'd be like 9 o'clock at night, like, yo, I need some herb, I'm out. And I'd fucking get in the car and drive from the Bay to LA on a hike, bro. I have to call Al Fresco, or one of my friends, to drive me down there at the time, you know. And my boy was like, man, you would go find a fucking brick of Mexican fucking brick weed and drive it to Wiz if you asked. I said I would, because he's giving me a lot of game right now and I respect him. And I eventually gave him the cut for KK. And he went and did some deals, and then I think he started kind of peeping game and kind of like wanted to do it on his own. And I respect him. I offered him multiple times to come put it under the Cookies umbrella, and Wiz is a guy that wants to learn it and do it himself. And so I gave him a lot of props, because he took the time to learn his business and do it himself. He built his own team. He went and found his own breeders. But he got a lot of game from me, and he actually, you know, talks about that in interviews, which I respect even more, because a lot of people would act like they didn't get the game. And so I think me and Wiz, we're really good friends. We enjoy fucking getting high together. We enjoy making music together. But furthermore, I think we enjoy like sharing game with each other. Like, he puts me on game, I put him on game, and it's a fair trade of like energy and just good old friendship. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I first got introduced to you. Like, I think for a lot of people was like, that's what I always said. Like, one of the most brilliant things that Wiz Khalifa ever did was those day-to-day vlog documentaries, bro. As part of my childhood, bro. It's like man, like that.
But he also was like the king of social media. I used to, as his friend who could pick up the phone and call me anytime I wanted to, or FaceTime, would wait to see what he would tweet, because he would tweet things all day. and it would just be like gems about what's going on with his music or his mind or like where his thoughts are. And so he's one of the first guys to really turn up on the content side, to turn up on the social media side, to have like a real cult following and like kill it. And so, you know, that's my brother for life. I love that dude.
Yeah,
you know?
that vlog series, dude, like it's still going on today. I mean, I think that's the most prolific, like out of any rapper doing like consistent, like that's like I said, they released a day to day recently, I think.
Yeah,
so, which is crazy, bro. That's like 9-10 years, bro. Like,
yeah, Wiz needs to get his flowers a lot more because he's not just he's a household name, dude. And he's an incredible artist. He's an incredible guy. So that's my dog right there. But I think we just both elevated each other a lot, and fucking that's we both. And I like that we both talk about that because a lot of situations you'll see people do business together and then like
never want to
kind of build on their own, and no one ever gives each other props, like stays friends or stays business partners. Like we're forever business partners. We did a lot of big things together. I think me and Wiz made history, and I really hope that one day we can get our group album done and out. We've done it before. We had 21 songs ready to go. The time wasn't right, and we just released those songs independently through different projects. But a Berner and Wiz album would go hard.
Yeah, it would.
I would A&R the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's wild though too, because I just started seeing you pop up in the vlogs, and then you know started listening to your music. I remember high school we used to pump 20 joints, and then Wax Room were like the two big cuts.
Wax Room was a good song.
Shit was hard as fuck.
It was a
bro.
good song.
Yeah. Are you ready to take your plant growth to the next level? Look no further than Canna, the leading brand in plant nutrition and cultivation. In this exclusive campaign on Grow World, Canna is offering you a custom deal on their premium Terra soil nutrients. But that's not all. You'll also receive a complimentary consultation meeting with one of the expert representatives because at Canna, they don't just sell products, they're invested in your success. Now, for over 30 years, Canna has been at the forefront of plant-powered research, delivering commercial growth solutions grounded in quality and expertise. Their philosophy and simple passion and the love for the plants combined with a dedication to helping growers achieve optimal results. Canna offers highly specialized base nutrients for the use in cocoa, soil, inert media, and water. Plus, they provide substrates and additives you won't find anywhere else. So why settle for anything less? Join the Canna family today and unlock the full potential of your plants. Visit their trial campaign in Grow World to claim the custom offer and book your complimentary consultation. Let's grow together with Canna. The link to the Grow World trial is attached to the comment. Go check it out. Anyways, let's jump back into it. Are you guys gonna do a Cookies nail salon? Is that what I saw something recently? Nah. I saw some sort of concept for that, right? No, I saw some.
Nah. What it was my daughter's mom was like, you know what? You need some more female-driven content. Like, let me come produce something with your team, just on some content. Like, nothing like crazy, no campaign. Just like, let me show you like what my vision would be like, you know, for like a more female-driven audience. I'm like, all right. So she came here. She worked with Yoshi. She actually did a pretty good job. Like,
it was dope. That was really well shot.
Yeah,
bro. Like, it was sick.
And you know, I like that the fact that me and my kid's mom still have a great relationship. We're good co-parents. We raise our kid together, and I wanted to empower her. I wanted her to get her rocks off with her vision. I was like, she called me about it 3 times. Like, all right, Sophia, this is what you want to do. Come through and do it. And I told Yoshi, I'm like, yo, she's gonna be on your ass about this shit. But they worked well together, and she did it, and I think it was dope. And that's just who I am, though. If I can help somebody out, if I can help bring someone's vision in life, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you given any advice to like Drake or OVO40 on the?
I'm really good friends with OVO40.
Yeah.
That's my dog. He's came here and hung out multiple times. He was in this building before this building even had paint on it. And we get real high together and we vibe together. But I've talked more to him about like the Bull Rider strain. The Bull Rider strain is like the Skittles of fucking Canada.
Yeah.
It's like it's very airy, very finicky strain, but it tastes so fucking good. As a matter of fact, it tastes so fucking good that when I was in Canada with him, I had to fly to New York, and I was thinking about taking like a half ounce on the plane with me, knowing my ass would get busted, but it was such worth the risk of it because it tasted so good. So me and 40 have talked about what to do. I think we both kind of like are just waiting for the right situation. And Drake is a homie, man. Like, I met Drake back in 2012 or something like that, or whatever it may be, and he came to the Hempcenter, and then I brought him in the back, and I'll never forget, he was like, damn, because we had like a little grow right there that you could see when you walk in the back. Yeah. Then we had a shelf, and there was a little bolt and a little bolt. You kind of pull them out and you open the shelf and there's a door, and then through that door is a big ass grow. And the owner, Richard, was crazy. Kathleen's husband or boyfriend at the time. Even in that grow, you go up a little, there's like a little thing you pull down there, really a little ladder, and we had to grow on the roof. This motherfucker was growing in the spot that we had behind the building and like this little cut, and then in the roof. So Drake was like, what the fuck? He was like, this shit's a shit.
Saw the real trap grows, yeah.
But that was when the trippy stick first came out, and I showed him that shit, and he was thrown away by that was the first vape pen, bro. No one's ever seen a vape pen before that.
Yeah.
And so he brought me to the Motto video shoot with him and Lil Wayne, and we showed Lil Wayne the vape pen, and an epic fucking day. And but yeah, all these years later, man, Drake hit me with a DM recently, bro, which is like the biggest boost. And I haven't told nobody this, but he hit me with a DM. He said, I'm really proud of you, brother. Like, we met 11 years ago on a path to success and both found our own paths. It's like, what you've done is incredible, and just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm like, damn, dog, you wake up with a DM from Drake, like, that's the biggest shit in the world.
Thanks to go, bro, yeah.
I just hit him back like, bro, like, what you built was crazy with the music. You're a fucking legend. Like, you know, you came very far as well. Like, we got to link up when I'm in Toronto. He said, for sure. And I just never really pushed the issue because I'm not going to bother that man. That man's a fucking, that's fucking champagne poppy, dog. He's,
100%.
You know what I mean? But when I was in Toronto smoking Bull Rider with 40, he FaceTimed. And what really tripped me out about Drake, and this is why I give him his props as far as a musician, he FaceTimed 40, and 40's like, look who I'm with. I'm like, what up? He's like, what up, bro? The new album you did was dope. I'm like, oh, the Gotti one? Because that was like the more popular
So you're
one.
talking about, Drake is the king of like staying tapped into the streets.
But check
and
this
like,
out.
Check
this out, though. This is where Drake is the GOAT. I said the Gotti one because, you know, I had their song with Rick Ross, Jadakiss, and Nas on that one that were all on the same song, and Mozzie and Benny the Butcher and fucking Styles P. I had some crazy shit on Gotti, right? He's like, nah, Gotti, the one you just dropped. I'm like, from sea to sail? And he was like, yeah. I said, damn, I didn't really push the album like that. He's like, bro, the mixes sounded great. Like, I just had to tap in to see what you were doing. Everything sounded good. And when we hung up the phone, 40 was like, bro, the boy really listens to everything. And he complimented the way that your engineer mixes and masters your beats and shit like that. I'm like, damn, Drake's the man, bro. Like,
the GOAT,
I don't give a fuck, bro.
I've been listening to forever.
Drake's bigger than some of the rappers that people say are the best of all time. And I'm not
we just
I'm
passed
not saying
Michael
Tupac.
Jackson.
I'm not saying Tupac, but some of the rappers that people say are the best of all time, Drake is better than them. And that's just my opinion. But
I would agree.
Shout out to Drake.
No.
My advice to Drake would be just get behind 40 and Bull Rider, which I think he is doing, and because that's a good genetic, and that's actually a real thing. It's respected in Canada. When I was out there, there's a whole story behind it and shit like that. But he knows he can hit my line if he ever wants any kind of advice. I'd help him out just out of respect because, fuck, he's a good guy and he's a fucking good businessman. And that DM gave me the morale I needed that one day. When he DM'd me, I was like, ooh, all right, he's paying attention. Like, this is dope. Dope.
He pays attention. That's the most impressive thing I think about him, bro, is he keeps his ears to the street for sure. Big shouts out to Drake, though. I'm a Drake stan, honestly. I've been like listening from the very beginning.
He's dope, dude.
Amazing. I guess last question, kind of here to wrap this up. Does this industry? I think it like just trying to observe myself, bro, and see my like slight changes over the last couple of years of dealing with a lot of shit. This obviously changes you, this industry, right?
The industry's changed?
No, the industry has changed, but it changes you in certain ways, or because like. People coming at you, people are attacking you. It's like now you have to attack back. You have to defend yourself, right?
That's actually a really good question, and
that's why I think people like to like vilify people, but you like don't realize that like, bro, these people have had to put up with like what they've had to put up with, and then they
I thought about this long and hard for like the last 3 or 4 days because there's a lot of shit going on with me. As you can imagine, I'm a big fucking target, and people come at me every way you can possibly imagine, from the cannabis side of things to cannabis accessory side of things. And like the way I'm looking at it, it's like the industry could vilify you if you let it. It could change you if you let it. The approach I'm taking personally is like this. We talked about this earlier. I can go on the offense and the defense. I can go on defense right now and start fighting back with everyone trying to come at me. I could respond to people trying to get at me, right? But I feel like that would be such a waste of my energy. And where my head's at, and maybe it's because I almost had a really life-threatening experience with cancer, and maybe it's because I'm humbled out right now. I appreciate the time I have here more, and I am more focused on seeing through my vision than ever. Like, I'm not addressing anything unless it's in front of me. So unless someone comes in front of me, I physically have to address it. I'm not addressing it. I'm not looking at what my so-called competitors are doing. I'm not entertaining what my so-called competitors are trying to do to me. I'm not looking at anything like that at all anymore. It was very poisonous to my health. I honestly think it's part of the reason why I got cancer, because partially it's food and a lot of it's stress, right? And so at the end of the day, like, if you stay focused on what you're doing and you focus on your craft and your brand and your vision, and you leave all that over here, let them talk, let them try, let them plot. They're going to keep doing that anyways. Because every time you take your eye off that and look at this, then what happens to this? This gets neglected, right? So in my years of business, and I'm gonna knock on wood, all talk has just been talk. People talk. I've never done anything to anyone, I say this confidently, I've never done anything to anyone that would deserve like physical harm or any kind of crazy thing happening to me. So let people talk, let people be upset, let people try to take me down. So long as I focus on my vision and my brand and doing what I love to do and doing it well and doing it from a place of love and passion and excitement, then whatever they're doing in the background is not going to make a difference to me anymore. Now, before I had cancer, all I would do is neglect and fight on that. I'd fight, oh, this person's trying to do that, this person's trying to say that, let me say this, let me go on Instagram. I'm not doing any of that anymore. I'm over it.
Starts to become like a huge waste of time. Like,
bro,
just like it's crazy, bro. Like I've noticed it myself.
It does four things. It becomes a waste of time. It affects your mental health and your health. It neglects your brand, and it ruins your family life. Move mean, stay safe, be cautious, keep your circle small, focus on your business.
Focus on your business, yeah. Focus on
because
yourself.
Everyone in the industry right now is at this crazy ass cutthroat battle, right?
It's crazy.
But just know this, every time you focus on somebody else, you're neglecting your business. I'm never doing that shit again. I did it for fucking 10 years. I'm sick of weed war. I'm not weed warring with anyone anymore. You fuck with my family, you fuck with me physically, it's a whole different story. Other than that, talk your shit. Do what you gotta do. Try to bring me down, because all it's gonna do is make me focus on my shit harder.
It really is the biggest waste of time. I mean, there are, I think, a little bit of, you're going to have to put, there's inevitably going to be some times where you have to put a little bit of, effort, energy into that. But more times than not, I'll be on a 4-hour phone call and it just becomes gossiping, I realize, bro. And it's like, it's just like the drama, like, bro, like anybody that's watching this, they know, like, the politics in this shit is crazy, bro.
Here's the facts, though. I'm not ignorant. Any man could be touched, even with moving accordingly, having armed security, whatever it may be. Anyone could be touched, but the universe is real. Karma is real.
Energy you put in.
Energy you put out there is real. And the facts are, we have no control of this shit. The shit is already, it is what it is. So I'm just gonna embrace the moments I have. I'm gonna focus on good, positive, innovative shit. While people might be trying to plot on taking me down from reporting my page or doing this or doing whatever they're trying to do, or let them do that. I'm gonna focus on my new menu for 2024 and 2025. I'm gonna go throw a taste test in LA and let these top customers of Cookies taste what we're working on right now. I'm just gonna do shit that complements my brand and my momentum, because this shit will vilify you, it will ruin you, and it will change you if you let it. And it happened to me before, and I almost fucking died. And after beating cancer, I promised myself, that's why it says no time for negativity on my shit. I mean that. I'm not entertaining no bullshit. None.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
The only smoke I want is good smoke. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I ain't got no enemies no more, brother. Like, I just don't give a fuck about that shit.
I think at the end of the day, though, too, like, the best revenge, quote unquote,
is
success. There's nothing, and there's no real revenge unless it's success. Like, that's it.
And
you forget about them.
What is needed for success?
You need to put energy into.
You have to have good energy, positive energy, healthy mental health.
Don't be distracted.
You have to be in a good place up here, up top, and all that shit over there is just a distraction up top that will take your focus away from the bigger prize. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fight hate with love, brother, because there's that big question in all the mafia films, like, what is more respected, love or fear? I take love every day. I don't want to be feared by nobody. I don't want people to be like, oh man, Bern could do this to me, or Bern's rich, he can do. Man, they don't ever have to worry about that with me. I love motherfuckers, bro. I'm willing to talk to anyone that thinks they have a problem with me.
Yeah, you want to be. What's that Machiavelli line? It's better to be loved than feared, but if you have to be feared. And there's nothing worse than being hated. That's what it is. But love. I mean, you can love. You can't hate though. That's like just two negatives. Yeah. Thanks, brother. That was dope.
That's all good, man. Now you're gonna get to see the real days of work. I'm about to jump on to call you, and then when we're done with that, bro, you're gonna see what goes down at the compound. There's a bunch of good flavors in the building. I hear you got a little cough, man. It's gonna get worse because there's fire in here, dude.
Been smoking my vape, bro.
And you're gonna see if this really works, because I guarantee you, by the time you leave,
I'm gonna be uncomfortably high.
You're about to be way too high, because if I'm right now, there's a man with a long beard and flip flops downstairs. There's some crazy ass purple full melt hash.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see that
I
motherfucker.
was doing some dabs last night.
Yeah.
Fucking hit me.
Well, good shit, bro. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Thank you, man. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview, the full Berner interview. I know it's taking a while to come out. Like I said, if you guys want to get early access to interviews like that, or just other pieces of content that we do, you can go sign up on our streaming platform. You can go to www.highdesign.media, and you're gonna get access to a bunch of exclusive content that's only going to be available on that website, and as well some early access stuff as well, just like this interview. And it really helps our team, and it helps allow us to continue to do what we're doing. So thank you so much to all of the people that are already members of the platform. There's also a free version too, so don't freak out. You're gonna still get access to a bunch of stuff as well, but there's some extra perks if you want to pay. But we appreciate all the support. And yeah, the Berner interview, this is really the first of hopefully many. I think that it's definitely some stuff we still need to talk about. Definitely some things we need to still address, but I really want to say thank you so much to Berner and his whole team for having me and for sitting down with me. So it means a lot, and I'm excited to potentially do some more stuff there in the future. We are in Long Beach right now, so we got some really dope content coming here soon, so stay tuned. Anyways, guys, this is LMC signing out.